Hi, I'm here with a quick ramble. So I had posted something not too long ago, and it read, "What good is it to rearrange your furniture if it's on a faulty foundation, right?" And the reality is that like we can go back and try to make sense of things, right? And I guess that purpose would be for you understanding and getting deliverance in that area. But if you're not actively trying to change, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my cat. If you're not actively trying to change your circumstance, then what good is it you knowing that information, right? So, and that all stemmed from a conversation I was having. And in that, like, I think what I'm noticing about myself and, just the state that I'm in and the transition and dealing with people that are like a couple of siblings that are younger and friends or whatever, and the conversations, right? You see the level of maturity and you see the lack of accountability. And I laugh because like I saw a lot of myself, right? And how it's just it's more comfortable to blame everything and everyone about your current circumstance and you've been like, yo, I made a lot of horrible decisions and I'm gonna take accountability for that. Now how do I clean this mess up and make sense of what my life is today, right? We don't want to do that. And I think that the accountability comes with, maturity, right? It's easy for me to look at my mother and be like, you're supposed to help me with this because you're my mother and you did that. And then the thought came to me earlier, like when I was taking a walk, it's like one day all these people that you were busy blaming that they were at fault because of the way your life is today and that they should have helped you, they're gonna be gone. I lost my mother, so it's like you can't blame your mother. So now, who do you blame? Who's next in line outside of you? You are the culprit to everything that your life is today. How are you gonna change it? And it was just a generalized conversation. Like I was just, it was all coming down at me. And I think it ultimately comes down to you gotta get sick and tired of what your circumstance is. You gotta get sick and tired of how you are, your life, and want to actively make that change and every day work towards making that change, right? And we can try to do it without God because I think I've gone a lot of time in my life trying to do it without God, but I think for me it got me nowhere. I was literally going around in circles. And so today on the post that I had wrote, I said this cycle was a 7-year cycle for me to get all the way over here and then just come crumbling down back to the beginning. And automatically there will be some kind of shame, like, okay, so what was all that about? But I don't have any shame in it because now I'm choosing to pivot with Christ. And you know I've learned so much about the journey, and the main thing is you don't move ahead of him. You don't move ahead of him. I understand with the maturity, I've gotten older, and I understand that nobody has your best interests in hands like he does. You know, yesterday I was listening to Jerry Flowers, and he was talking about David and one of the battles that he went through, and how he said, if he didn't consult with God about how he should move in that battle and did his own thing, he would have lost the battle, right? But God gave him a strategic plan of going behind, or like he gave him a certain blueprint to take to fight I think it was the Philistines, but I could be wrong. So, but pretty much the gist of it was don't go ahead of God. Seek him, and if you don't get an answer, keep seeking until you get an answer. Um, Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. What is that? Is that Matthew 6? Matthew 6. Matthew, Mark. Matthew 6. Matthew 6 and 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. And I just think, I don't know. Ultimately, it's that he comes first. You make the decision to put him first in your life. Nothing else in this world is that urgent, that pressing, that requires a yes immediately outside of God. And I'm learning that in this season, right? Because that circling season was because I didn't get an answer right away. I moved ahead of him. And now I'm paying for that. So, but I think in all this, it's taught me a lot to seek him in everything that I do, and the counsel that you take, right? Looking at the fruit of the people who are talking to you and giving you advice. Questioning the advice that they're giving you, right? You should be questioning all the advice that's being given to you. I know not to move ahead of God and to seek him all day long and to commune with him, and that desire, I pray that the desire doesn't go away, but that I know it won't go away because he's first in all that I do, right? You gotta hunger and thirst after him more than anything in this life, and it's really a dying to the flesh, a dying to yourself, your needs, your wants, your goals. None of that matters, right? You have all those desires, you work towards that, but he's included in all of it, Yeah. It was gonna go somewhere else, but I don't think I'm ready for that right now. Yeah, taking accountability. Just don't move ahead of him. I think I got it all out. So yeah, I was, and I think it's best to record when you get the download, the conversation right then and there. But in that moment, so I was already outside and I was sweaty, and then when I went to go put the phone down, I was literally isolated. And as soon as I put the phone down, take the vest off, here's everybody and their mother coming to the back. What's happening? And I just got irritated. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this. And I ended up leaving, whatever, so I'm here now. But yeah, you gotta hunger and thirst for him more than anything in this life. And sometimes it'll simply be that you lose everything, and that is what brings you back to him. And my fear is that once I'm thrown back out there, it's not a fear, but that would pain me to my core, that I turn away from him for, everything else, right? But yeah, you gotta make up in your mind. And I think that's what I was saying to my friend, and I keep kind of sharing with her. It's just looking at the fruit, right? Examining everything. You should never be so comfortable with anything in this life. Question everything, because the enemy is always looking for a door to come in, and then next thing you know, you back doing stuff that you thought you were delivered from, so take everything up to him. And I think also, so where I once used to get irritated with people when they would come and vent to me or whatever, that's how you know at that when I caught that today, I said, oh girl. But you get mad, you get irritated, like why are they coming to me with this? And nope, you leave it right there at the altar with God. But then you check yourself with the information that was presented, and you ask yourself, is this how I treat God? And if it is, what are you going to do to correct that, right? Everything in this life is a mirror. Like, I want my relationship with him to be the blueprint of all my relationships out here, right? Because we're so quick to want to blame people, like, oh, they're coming to attack me, they're coming to... We're all human, and we're all in this together. Not, you know, the enemy could use people, whatever, right? But we're all human. Take the people up to God. And just make sure that you're not doing the same thing to Christ, and you're not doing the same thing to people, right? Because we love blaming people for everything. I guess it's the nature of us. I don't know. But, yeah. What else is going on? There's a lot of noise on YouTube, like way too much noise. And they're posting a lot saying that God said. 5 years ago, when I really, like, you know, gave my life seriously to Christ, at that time, you know what it was? It was a lot of kingdom marriage messages. I don't know, now that thing kind of died down. There's still people, you know, doing that, but it's a lot of like, oh, I need money and like GoFundMe's and all that just kind of stuff going on online. And I'm like, I don't know. I was listening to Craft to Christ, from Craft to Christ, and she was sharing her same sentiments today, and I'm like, it's serious. Like, it's something serious. And it's almost like, you know what? I don't want to hear nothing online. I will seek the word for myself, which is what he wants, right? But it's just like a lot of garbage. And I think what's really bold is people saying that God said. Like, that's scary. It's scary territory. So yeah, you just do your own work and seek him for yourself and establish a relationship for yourself. Like, because there's a lot of like new age and Christ merging. Just be vigilant and take it all up to God. Do your part and test it against the word. Take it to Christ. So, that is all that I have. I think I got it out. All right. Be blessed.